Good morning, everybody. On today's show, we're going to talk about how everything went yesterday with my brand new setup, with the new quality and the lack of input lag playing Street Fighter 6. But in addition to that, today, we've got a special unboxing to do live on the stream. All this and more on today's chill episode of the Level 1 Podcast. Alrighty. Good morning and welcome to the show, everyone. Today is Saturday, the 1st of June, 2024. So, happy June to everyone. I hope that you're all ready. This is the beginning of the big summer push for games. You know, in a week, we've got the beginning of all of the big events and conferences that will be going on, including Summer Game Fest and the Xbox Direct. Plus, rumors that there will also be a Nintendo event this month, among others. So, this is former E3 time, when all the game companies halfway through the year start announcing all their new stuff. And so, I get the feeling we're going to have a lot of stuff to discuss in the gaming space very soon. But for now, things are great here on DSPGaming. In fact, I would say they've been better than they have been in a long time. If you take a look, my setup has been dramatically improved in the last week. We now have better visuals, better audio, no blurriness or frame drops. In addition to that, playing games online, I no longer have input delay. Everything's looking up. All right. In fact, today we even have more improvements. For example, I played Multiversus for the first time back on Wednesday, but I played it on the Xbox Series X. Reason being, I played the beta on the Series X two years ago. And so all my account for WB Games was on there and logged in and everything. So it was easy to just set up. Well, guess what? As I played it on Wednesday, it was freezing, stuttering, and then unfreezing in the middle of competitive matches. There was a match I was playing with Iron Giant. I had the tank transformation complete and was shooting missiles from mid-screen, destroying my enemies. The game froze, unfroze, and I was off the edge, died. Huh? This is reportedly a big problem for everyone. So today, we're swapping. Today, we're going to be playing Multiversus on the PS5 to compare and see if PS5 does, in fact, perform better. We're going to have a head-by-head comparison, all right? So what's really awesome is that every once in a while, you know, we get to do this kind of stuff. And in the last 2 years, if you haven't noticed the insane improvements to my content and channel, I certainly hope that you've been enjoying them. One of the things that we did last week that people really enjoyed is I had a special Friday Night Fights with my friend Brian, also going by top tier rated over on Twitch. We did a 2.5 hour set of Street Fighter 6. It was great. I used a variety of characters. He did too. We had fun. But the one thing that was sorely lacking was voice communication, because I haven't actually done anything online cooperative with anyone in many years, right? Like many, many years. I just don't do it because of trolling. And because of that, I don't have any equipment to even like talk to anyone over the internet. And so when we did this session, it was fun, but we couldn't actually talk about the matches. We couldn't commentate. We couldn't, communicate. Well, Brian said, hey, I'd love to do it again, but man, you really got to find a way to talk so we can we can communicate if we do it again. And so after talking with you guys yesterday on the podcast about this, 3 different people recommended this microphone. I have no clue if it's any good. It's Amplifine B-Fine or Fi-Fine RGB mic series. It was cheap. I'm going to be honest. On Amazon, this was around just under $40, okay? So it's not an expensive mic or anything like that. It's Chinese. It says right on it. Made by the Zhongking Haijia Electronics Company from China. So I don't know if it's going to be any good or not, all right? What's hilarious is that it tries to copy the form factor and design of, say, a professional grade mic that I use today and I've been using for the greater part of 10 years, but it definitely isn't going to be that level of quality. For $40, you're never going to get the same as this guy, okay? So, what we're going to do today, first of all, we're going to do a live unboxing. We're going to see what it looks like. We're going to see, you know, does it look durable? What comes in the box? And if you guys want to, this is totally up to you. We can plug it in and see if it works. Okay? I'm down for that. We could do another live testing session where we try out a new piece of equipment and see if it works. The thing is, I really don't know how to test it properly on PS5. Like, how does PS5 work when you plug in a mic? Is there a menu where you can test the settings and the audio quality? I have no idea. Okay? So, I guess we can maybe do that. It's up to you guys. Outside of that, on today's show, what do we have to do? Well, I just want to recap, because yesterday, we had my very first ever lag-free session of Street Fighter 6. And I would definitely like to tell you guys how it went, because it went pretty darned well. Let's put it that way. Lily was kicking butt against master-level players, which was a relief, because there were some things that were happening that I couldn't previously do playing the game, and it really made a huge dramatic difference in my gameplay. So we'll talk about that a bit, and of course we'll update the schedule. But outside of that, there's not much else going on besides one short news story. We have time. So we wanted to do a live testing of this guy right here. We could do it. Okay? So, anyway, here we go. It's time for a fun Level 1 podcast. I hope that you're all having a good weekend. I hope that you are in good spirits, and if not, hopefully we will cheer you up a bit today. Good gameplay coming today. Like I said, we're doing our second ever session of Multiverses, this time on PS5, and likely what I will do is, jump on with different characters. You know, last time we played with Bugs Bunny and Iron Giant. Today I'll probably pick others. Maybe I'll try Jason Voorhees out, and maybe we'll do, like, some of the characters that I also played with previously, like either Velma or Batman, something like that. I guess we'll see. So that should be fun. And after today's session, we'll judge if Multiverses is something that we want to continue playing moving forward, or if not. You know, I'll be honest, the first session was not convincing in either way. Like, it wasn't like, oh, we should definitely keep playing it and keep it in the rotation, or, oh, it's not that good, don't play it again. It was more kind of like hard to judge, because on Xbox, again, it kept freezing and unfreezing and stuttering, and it was annoying, and then matches would drop. And it was just like, what is going on here? So now, a few days have passed, okay? It's now Saturday. You would think by now they've probably done update patches, and we're going to be playing on PS5, so it may be a better experience. If it is, it may convince us more that we want to play more Multiverses. Just for the record, Brian did say he's playing Multiverses, and he would consider doing like a 2v2 stream where we team up in a party and we play together, online. I don't know how that would work, because I'm playing on PS5 and he's playing on PC, so I don't know how we would match into a party like that. I guess we'd have to look into it, because the game is cross-platform, but I don't know if the party making is cross-platform. But anyway, yeah, well, he was talking about doing that possibly, and it's like, well, if this turns out well and we play today and it's going good, maybe I could talk to him about maybe doing a stream like that, right? But let's see. The game also has a lot of offline content, but I don't know if you guys are interested in it, right? Would you be interested in seeing me trying to go through this game offline, killing AI to do unlocks? Because it seems like that's what you do. You play through the game and you get a lot of unlocks by playing through the single-player content, but is that entertaining to you? I want to do stuff that you want to see. So, today, more online play in Multiverses. Let's see how it goes on PS5 and go from there. So I'm excited for that. Of course, I'm excited for more Hades 2 tonight. Hades 2 is a great game. Had our first stream of it a couple nights ago. Had lots of technical difficulties, admittedly. All right, now, that's because it was the first day using my new capture device. We had HDCP issues. We had HDR issues. I've worked out the issues. Okay, tonight, the stream should be silky smooth, good color. Everything should be good. So let's hope for the best in that regard. But I think we will be. I think we're going to do good tonight. It's going to be a good stream, okay? So, today's games are good. Good variety, good content. Let's talk about yesterday, because what I'd like to do is let you guys know about all the stuff that went down yesterday. Particularly, I'm excited to talk about the improvements to the Fallout and Street Fighter 6 streams that happened, okay? Okay. So with this new capture device and all my new settings, I am full speed ahead to get the best quality possible when I'm playing games. What does that mean? When I'm playing Fallout 4, I'm playing it at 4K resolution, 60 hertz, 60 frames per second. You guys are seeing it at 1080p, but a very high quality 1080p 60 frames, meaning pretty much flawless. No dropped frames, no stuttering, no blurriness. It's now ultra sharp compared to what it used to look like, okay? Obviously, that's a humongous improvement. In regards to Street Fighter 6, okay, I'm playing at 1080p, 120 hertz, 60 frames per second, variable refresh rate. What that means is I am playing the optimal console version of the game, minimal input delay. When I go to do something, it comes out almost instantly, which is a far cry from what I had in the last year of playing Street Fighter 6. And boy, let me tell you how that translated into last night's stream, okay? It was like completely different from what I was used to. Hold on a second, because I have the stats. Here they are. Okay. So, to give you some perspective, okay? Remember last week when I was using Akuma, and I was losing a ton. I couldn't get a handle on this character because it seemed like when I was trying to do stuff, I couldn't anti-air. I couldn't block on reaction. I couldn't do this. I couldn't do that, right? Now that the input delay is gone, here's the very first stream. There's a new setup. With Lily last night, I had 35 wins and 23 losses, a 60% win rate. Most of that was against master players. Yes, there were a few sprinkled in diamond and platinum, but most of the matchups were master matchups, okay? Now, keep in mind that there was some trolling, people who were purposefully going on there and abusing the internet connection because they do it on purpose. They go in there with an insulting name, then they fuck with their internet and they fuck the matchup, and then they're dicks about it. So I just block them right after. It's not a big deal. But those actually factor in, okay? So, that's exciting. And to give you distinct examples, okay, of how things were better for me in this setup, okay? One of the major problems that I had was Blanca doing his command throw. I would literally try to get out with multiple ways, and nothing would work. I would always get caught by his command throw. It seems like no matter what I did, it wouldn't react fast enough. Last night, Blanca only caught me with his command throw out of like 10 attempts, maybe twice. I'm able to neutral jump out of it now, which is what everyone should be doing. You neutral jump out of it, you get a ginormous punish combo, and you should be able to jump on reaction. So I was jumping out of it almost every time. I got one ginormous punish combo, huge damage out of it. And the thing is, I've always been jumping out of it, just that the game was too slow and it wouldn't react to what I was doing. So when I would say to you guys, man, I don't understand. I'm trying to get out of it. Everyone else does when I use it, but I can't get out of it. That was why I was handicapped. Now I'm not anymore. Okay. That's a great thing. Anti-airing. Oh my goodness. I couldn't tell you how many times last night I did clean anti-airs with Lily, and I'm not talking low fears. I'm talking her Tomahawk Buster, which is basically her Dragon Punch move. It was blowing through everything, and I never get to do that. And I was doing it so many times last night. Also, her Condor Dive, which again, it's a move that's fast and comes out quick, but you need to react to the opponent. Like if you're jumping and you see the opponent and do a fireball, you do it over. I was landing that a few times. Okay, that's excellent. Here's a new strategy I started because I actually watched El Chicote's videos from when he won Combo Breaker last weekend. He has this strategy where he jumps purposefully at an enemy trying to bait their anti-air like a Shoryuken. And if they go to do it, he does level 2 super, which is completely invincible on startup, and it destroys the anti-air as a counter hit and does tons of damage. I did that a couple of times. And again, that's something I wouldn't have been able to do if it didn't react so quick. You have to lickety-split see the Shoryuken and then do it. And I was able to do it and blow through a couple anti-air Shoryukens with it, which is really awesome. Geez, what else? I mean, I'm telling you, it was like night and day. Oh, I was able to actually throw break a bunch. If you watch last night's Lily videos, you're going to see me breaking throws a lot. And everyone's like, what? How's Phil breaking throws? He never broke throws before. That's why. Because it's reacting. When I press the buttons, it's actually giving me my input right away. And the biggest testament, by far the biggest testament, I was counter drive impacting a ton. All right? A lot of drive impact punishes and counters, which was great. I really, really enjoyed being able to stop the stupid drive impact that people spam online, I was blowing right through them, which is what everyone always does to me. And I always wondered, how is it that they always counter drive impact me, but I can never counter drive impact them because I was handicapped. I was so laggy. Now that is gone. Okay? So, I mean, just think about that. Being able to react, to jump out of throw traps, being able to do anti-airs all the time, consistently, being able to break throws, being able to counter drive impact. That's just 4 examples of things that have already massively improved in my gameplay. Okay? So, I had an absolute great time last night playing with Lily. If you watch the set, there's a couple times when I'm frustrated. For example, there was an Aki player who really didn't do that much besides throw traps. And if you know the throw trap, you learn it, you get out of it, then it's not a big deal. The problem is to get out of the throw traps with Aki, like, you kind of have to play the game differently. You can't play your game. You basically have to play by her rules and try to, you know, blow through what she's doing, break throws, etc. I'll be honest, it's not fun. It's a necessary evil. The character is there, and she plays like that in this style. But after playing this person like twice, I was like, dude, I don't want to play this person anymore. It's exhausting. I beat them twice already. I don't want to do it. Then he kept matching me with them again. I'm like, dude, I want to play this person 7 times tonight and have to do this stupid mini game, because that's what it feels like. It feels like you're playing a mini game instead of the real game, and that's frustrating to me. But I wasn't sitting here getting infuriated. My blood pressure wasn't sky high. I wasn't punching my joystick and swearing and insulting people or anything like that. It was definitely a different stream, and this is my first attempt with no input lag at all, and it went incredibly well. All right, it did. It went incredibly well. So I had a lot of fun last night, and I am seeing a very bright future now for me playing online games, because I'm going to have little to no input delay. When Call of Duty comes out later this year, on Game Pass, by the way, I'm excited to see how this is going to go. You know, playing Call of Duty on there and having 120 hertz, variable refresh rate. I may be kicking ass. I may be able to just, like, react much faster than everybody else, which is hilarious because I already was doing pretty good in Call of Duty. Now imagine me with even less input delay having an advantage. It's like, it's crazy, you know? And the thing is, I had these capabilities all along. I just didn't know that the hardware would work with my PC, which is so dumb that the requirements for this modern hardware list so high and aren't correct. You know, my PC is a 10-year-old PC running on Windows 8.1 that has USB 3.0. According to this device that I'm literally using, that's allowing all of this to be capable, it says you need Windows 10, USB 3.1 minimum. It's a lie. It's just an outright lie. You don't need those things. So all these years, I've been playing with inferior hardware, thinking I was limited to it, and I wasn't. I could have been doing this better quality for so many years. It's ridiculous. So it is what it is, but at least now I have it. I'm happy with the first test. Now, here's the funny part about all of this, though, okay? So last night, I'm playing, and basically I'm doing really well. So, of course, the trolls come out in force to try to attack me in the casual matches. Of course, I don't give a fuck. It doesn't affect me. I'm not raging. I'm just blocking them as soon as the matches are over. And I distinctly see a difference. All of a sudden, all the viewers are leaving. All those people who were here just to see me rage for Street Fighter, they're taking off. If you look at the videos, one of them doesn't even have 300 views yet, and it's been over 12 hours. Why? Because I'm literally winning with Lily. I went on like an 8 or 9 win streak. You know, like, I was kicking butt with Lily last night. So they don't want to watch that, right? These toxic fucking idiots only want to watch me lose and then rage. They're scumbags. So I don't give a fuck, because those views are worthless to me. They don't add anything. As long as you guys watch, enjoy, and of course, support my efforts to be improving and be positive, that's what's important. Listen, I am now going to do my absolute best to get better at Street Fighter 6. I can't play it offline. I'm not going to go to tournaments, but I have the best setup I could possibly have within my own means to play well online. I now want to get better. I want to play with Zengi, play with Blanca again. Man, playing with Blanca may feel like a different experience now. I want to go back and try Akuma again and mess with him now that I can actually react to everything and do the stuff and not drop combos and have issues. I want to see how I do with Akuma again, right? So I'm going to be doing all of this. And I'm probably going to be getting better and better. And as long as you guys show up, engage, and support that content, it doesn't matter how many viewers are there or how many overall views are on the videos. All right. Listen, obviously more views equals more ad revenue equals more profitability. But ultimately, a few hundred less views because the trolls aren't watching my videos anymore because I'm doing well and I'm not raging is not going to matter in the long term. Okay? So, by the way, I have like one or two more. I would argue I want to play Zangief again for sure. And I want to try Blanca. And I want to go back to Akuma once. Once I basically go through those rotations, then I'm probably going to get back to ranked play. Because some people are like, well, when are you playing ranked again? Well, I need to test all my characters and see what their changes are. Like, I've already told you, like, Lily, I noticed, has this change where her level 1 super is better. So now she could do full screen Condor Spire OD edition. And if it hits in the corner, she could do level 1 super. And it does big damage. I'm like, oh, that's really useful. Same with Dalsim, now having the level 3 super combo easier. Now I have to adjust all my combos and things to be better. Okay. Honda. Honda's a completely different character now. Like, seriously. Honda is not supposed to be a character anymore that just is spamming butt slam and jab. Now he's all about comboing into the hands, and it's worked. Comboing into the hands is very effective, and I liked playing with him. So, like I said, probably played with all my characters once. We've played with Honda, Dalsim, and Lily. Now let's play with Geef, Blanca, and Akuma one more time, and then we'll get to ranked again. I want to get Akuma to master. There's no reason I can't, especially now that I can react to everything. I probably will do much better with him now. I won't have as many dropped inputs and problems and not being able to react to shit, okay? So, good stuff coming in regards to fighting games in Street Fighter 6. What a positive day yesterday. What a great, successful test of the new settings. I'm really happy with this. And I can't wait. I cannot wait for more, and I hope that you guys will stick around for that stuff, okay? All right, so let's talk about schedule. Because I actually do have an update to the schedule for all of you. Today, as I already stated, we're going to do Multiversus again. Let's see how Multiversus does today on PS5. I'm hoping for a distinct improvement over what we had on Xbox on Wednesday. And then tonight, Hades 2, which I know is going to be a nice, chill, laid-back, interactive stream. We're all going to have a good time together. So I hope you guys will join me for that. Sunday, React Day. So on the DSP Reacts channel, it'll be DSP versus the Internet, my weekly Clips React show. FYI, if you are a channel member over on DSP React, you have until the end of today's streams on DSPGaming to post up your clips for this week's show. That is the cutoff. The community posts have been live all week long. Excuse me. So please head over there and post up if you have not, okay? Can't wait. Great variety show. It's done well. I will say this. The last couple of weeks, the support on the React show has not been great at all. It's actually been some of the slowest streams I've done, and I don't know why, because usually that's not the case. Usually we have a good audience that comes to the React show and supports the stream. I don't want that to become a running pattern. That's really the only content I'm doing on the channel for now. However, in the coming weeks, I'm going to have React content reacting to Summer Game Fest, the Xbox Direct. I might do a big live review show for The Boys Season 2, much like I did a live review show for the Fallout TV show. Not The Boys Season 2, The Boys Season 4, 5, whatever the new season is. So I might do that too. So there will be new content for the channel. But right now, the only content, is the React show. And the clips, the parts of the videos that I put out frequently get claimed and demonetized, and I can't make profits on them. So really, the support of the channel comes from memberships and people who watch and support the streams. Well, now all of a sudden, the streams are falling off. I'm like, well, what's happening? Now, some people have said, well, it's because it's the same clips and the same people submitting the clips. Bear with me here. The show is interactive. For as little as $4 a month, $3.99, you submit clips every week. And there's a high chance of them getting watched. In some recent weeks, we've watched every video that's been submitted to the show. If you become the highest tier member of $20, you're guaranteed to get 4 videos watched a month. Each week, we're going to be watching one of your videos and reacting to it. Okay? So I want you to think about this. Gee, the same people every week submit similar clips. So then why don't you become a member? If you become a member, then you could submit the clips. And then there could be a bigger variety of clips. If you don't like the show, you literally have the power to change it. That is the whole premise of the show. So for someone to sit around and say, well, the only reason that I'm not watching it is because I don't like the variety of clips, it's boring. You literally can become a member right now and change the whole show. So why wouldn't you? Why would you sit around and complain and not watch instead of saying, hey, let's make it more interesting? You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense. I used to watch the stream and support it, but now I won't support it anymore because the clips are bad. So then why don't you become a member and support in that way, and then the show will be better? It doesn't make sense. There's a logic break here, okay? So I just don't get it. If you don't like it, change it for the better. That's the point. This is not me putting out bad clips every week. I don't choose the clips. You do. You know? So, thank you guys. Please watch the show tomorrow and support it if you can, or become a member and post up clips by the end of today. Because like I said, today you still have a chance. If you become a submissions tier member, you have an equal chance to have your clip watched along with everyone else. If you become an ultra tier member over there today, that means that you're guaranteed to get your clip watched tomorrow. Okay, but you have to do it today, and you have to do it by the end of my streams on this channel today, so around 9:30 p.m. Pacific time. That's the cutoff, okay? Cool. So that'll be the first stream tomorrow over on DSP Reacts. And then tomorrow night, I'm very excited to continue the Retro React event that we're doing for the Mario and Sonic at the 2012 London Olympic Co-op. That is so fun. Last week we did it for about 2.5 hours. We had a blast. We were laughing our butts off at how funny those clips are. And I knew that was going to happen. I knew that those clips were comedy gold. So I cannot wait to hang out with you all again Sunday night for that over on the DSP Throwback channel, okay? By the way, every day now there's clips of Fallout 3 or LA Noire over there as well. So give those a look. You know, I don't really talk about the Throwback channel that often these days, but the content continues. You know, the editors are hard at work making those playthroughs viable for a modern audience. We don't get that many. We get like maybe 100, 200 people watching the clips, but I'm hoping that over time, they will accumulate views. You know, once the body of work is there, more people will likely watch. You got Final Fantasy 13 in its entirety, Red Dead Redemption 1 in its entirety. Okay, many Retro React events, including the full playthrough of Heavy Rain and The Walking Dead Season 1. A good chunk of Dark Souls 1 is on there now. You know, you got Bully, you got all kinds of stuff. And now we got these ongoing playthroughs, okay? So please give them a look. By the way, I'm pretty sure in regards to Fallout, I think that we are more than halfway. Oh, I can't see, it's on the other monitor. I'm pretty sure we're more than halfway through the Fallout 3 playthrough. So once that concludes, we have to decide, do you want me to continue with the Fallout second run playthrough, which was optional missions? All the plot lines I missed in my first run, like, for example, Oasis, or I think I did the Republic of Dave, right? All those missions that are like off the beaten path, but you can walk and discover. I didn't discover like any of them in my original run of the game. So I could basically continue on and do the second run, which was about another 20 hours of gameplay. We could do that right away, or we could decide if you want me to do something different, right? Maybe we should do some vlogging. Maybe what I can do is get some vlogs that are missing. Like there's a whole New York trip that myself, John Rambo, and Howard went on in like 2010. That's missing from the internet, doesn't exist. And I could have my editors work on making like a montage of the New York trip clips, you know, put that together into something special for you to watch. I believe there's some missing holiday videos and stuff from the Blip TV era, stuff like that. I'm trying to remember exactly what's missing because there is a good amount missing, okay? There's the Dante's Inferno playthrough, which never saw the light of day on YouTube because YouTube back then was so restrictive. They wouldn't allow like nudity and stuff. And remember, Dante's Inferno is about the different levels of hell. There's a whole level based on sex, and there's like penis towers and shit. So they wouldn't allow it. But now it's all over YouTube. So now we could have the missing Dante's Inferno playthrough, which isn't that long. I want to say it's like 10 hours long or something like that. It's only like the first few levels. So we could do that. That could go up. Or we could remaster other older playthroughs that are missing from the internet. Or not missing, excuse me, that are on the internet, but are the old style. With the camera pointed at the TV, it looks like shit. You know, we could do it better, you know, for you, depending on what you would like to see remastered. Like, what playthroughs do you think you'd like to see remastered next? Think about it. You know, I can definitely tell you later this year some of the projects we're going to do. We're definitely going to remaster and re-release the Suicide Kings online gameplay. This was the online sessions that I did with John Rambo and other people co-op online to create the raw footage to make the Suicide Kings videos many years ago. That's going to happen. And I tell you this, in October, we're going to do Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare. That's coming in October. That's going to be for Halloween month, okay? But we still have 4 months until then. So we got to start thinking, what is the next project once Fallout 3 ends? So begin thinking about that, and let's talk about it another week or two when we're getting close to the end, okay? All right. So anyway, that's tomorrow. Then Monday, we swing back to gaming again, and Monday will be another Fallout 4 stream and another Street Fighter 6 stream. Now, you may notice something. I didn't say that I'm taking any time off from streaming this week, and there's a good reason. As of this moment, unless something changed, but I don't think it did, I have to confirm either by the end of today or tomorrow, I only have about 1 hour of private Patreon React videos to do this month, which is a little less than usual. Because of that, it looks like I don't have to take a stream off to make them. What I'll try to do is squeeze it in. Like, it's an hour. I can try to squeeze that in maybe one night. I'll end like right at 9:15. So that way I could do that React video from like 9:30 to 10:30. You know what I'm saying? So it looks like I will not have to skip a stream this month. As long as I'm correct. I need to double check that, because the thing is with Patreon, the pledges don't all clear until like the 2nd. So until tomorrow, I won't know for sure, but it's looking like it's just the hour of private reacts. And if that's the case, that means that we'll just have streams every night. No problem. No missing streams this week. Okay? So that's what it's looking like. I'll confirm that probably tomorrow. But if that's the case, then we'll do Fallout 4 and Street Fighter 6 on Monday. Then on Tuesday, we'll probably do more Multiverses and more Hades. And then Wednesday, we might even do more Fallout 4 and more Street Fighter 6, depending. Okay? We'll see. So let's play it by ear. Let's see how it goes. Keep in mind, next week, we got to take time away from gaming. Why? Because we've got, on Friday, Summer Game Fest, which I'll be covering. And then that Sunday, we got the Xbox Direct, which means that Sunday is thrown for a loop, and I won't be able to do my standard reacting stuff, and I may have to bump it or do it on a different date. We'll have to see. More than likely, the DSP versus the Internet clip show is going to end up being on Monday rather than Sunday. We're going to have to change the day around. So, anyway, there you go. That is the schedule for the month. Remember, we got a lot of other stuff going on as well. If and when we get through some games and we want to mix it up, we have other games we could possibly squeeze in there. We got other indie games, right, like Stardew Valley or Noita. We've got the possibility of other games that came out recently, like the System Shock remake and stuff like that. And of course, we all know what's coming up, the big one in June, correct? The big thing happening in June, the exciting thing everyone's talking about, Elden Ring Shadows of the Erdtree DLC comes out on the 21st. Absolutely, I will be covering it in depth. I'll be playing it, and it's in the whole day that day. Probably daytime streams nonstop for a while. Maybe every once in a while alternating with another game. But we all know how good it's going to be. Apparently, this thing is going to be about half the length of the original Elden Ring game. That's going to be, what, like 40, 50 hours, right? It should be great. I cannot wait to cover it for you guys, especially with my new setup. The new quality and everything is going to be amazing. So that's going to be epic, and that's the big focus of the month, obviously. Okay? Okay. So, at this point, thank you. I see some people have contributed. Thank you for that. I'll shout that out in a bit. Do we want to do the unboxing? Do you want to check out this microphone? So this is called the Ampligame A6V gaming microphone. Specification: element condenser microphone, polar pattern, unidirectional, 5-volt power supply, output via USB. Features a tap to mute sensor, plug and play, RGB lighting. Yes, this thing glows, which wasn't really a thing I cared about, but just does. A pop filter and gain control built in, which even my professional studio mic doesn't have gain control built in. This does. Okay? But I must emphasize, this microphone was under $40. I think it was like $38 or something like that on Amazon. How good could it possibly be for $38, right? You're going on vacation next week, Cracker Jack? Sounds good. I hope you enjoy your vacation. Have a good one. Don't tell anyone where you're going. Okay. All right, so Ampla Game. Want to check this out? And yes, it is Chinese. It says right on the side of the box, it's Chinese. The company is Zhao King Haija. There you go. All right. Ready? Let's take a look. Okay. So right on top, we have instructions, which we'll look at in a bit, I assume. We don't have to look at those yet. Okay. Some kind of foam on top. Remove the foam. And there's the product on the inside. Surprisingly enough, this is good packaging, right? Like for a cheap mic, this is pretty good packaging. It's got form-fitting foam to keep it pretty much steady. I'm shocked that they actually did that. I thought it would be like really cheaply packaged for such a cheap price, right? So here we got the USB cable. It appears to be, it's probably like a 6-foot USB cable. For the record, I bought some USB expansion cables for this because I knew it wouldn't reach from my PS5 to over here. Okay. And here we've got what appears to be the tripod. Okay. Very basic. Probably the most basic tripod layout you could see. So I guess that's, yeah. There you go. It's like right there. I guess you could technically... No, you can't. I was going to say, could you make it not have the legs be extended as much, but not really? I guess maybe. I don't know how strong they are, because I might want to have it like a little bit taller rather than shorter. I guess I'll experiment with that. Here, let me get the styrofoam out of the way. It's going to go right here. It's literally going to sit right next to my other mic. I'm going to have 2 mics in front of me when I'm playing on PS5. Okay? Yeah, that is not very even. So now it looks like you have to kind of extend it out all the way. So it has to go out wide like that. That's how you have to extend this tripod mount here. Okay? All right. Now the microphone itself. So it all comes out as one piece. It's pre-built. Look at that. They pre-built it on those like rubber band threads. You don't have to build it yourself. They actually made it in the warehouse or whatever. It has a smile. Look at that. It has a smile on the front. Does your microphone smile at you when you use it? Mine doesn't right now, but this one will smile at me apparently. Look at that. I don't know about that pop guard. That's probably pretty much the crappiest pop guard I've ever seen. Like, it barely covers the front of the mic. My pop guard, as you can see, literally goes all the way around the mic. This one barely covers the front. That's a pretty crappy pop guard there. Okay. All right, well, so there we go. Put this stuff back in for now. Assemble it. Smiling Friends microphone. Isn't that a new show or something on TV? Smiling Friends? I don't know. So here we go. So I guess we have to loosen this. There we go. Okay. So now we have to screw the tripod in. Righty-tighty, right? Okay. Screwing it in. Turn to the screw. Okay, make it snug. So as you can see, this thing is going to be very low. Like, it's going to be a little bit lower than my current mic. There's no way that it could even be as high because it doesn't have the arm to lift it up. And the tripod is such a low-form tripod that there's no way it's going to have... I might actually, you know what? I might do this. I might put it here. Yeah, because when I'm playing, I'll be like this, and I'll be able to just turn and talk like this. That's actually better. Yeah, that's actually better to do it that way. All right, and so if I'm going to angle it at me, I have to kind of like adjust it to have it point at my mouth. If I'm like this and I'm turning like this, it would be just about that angle right there. I'll like tighten it now. No one donated this. This was just me spending the money that I make on streams to get it, okay? And by the way, this is based on your recommendations. People recommended mics yesterday, and 3 different people sent me this mic as a recommendation saying that it's pretty good for the price. It's pretty good, okay? So here's what it looks like. Once it's assembled and kind of angled, it smiles at you, okay? So what I want to do is I want to test it and see if it actually works with PS5. It says it does. By the way, it's supposed to glow. So let's test it. Let's first of all, here's the USB cable it comes with. All cables now come with these Velcro wraps, which is kind of nice that they do that. I don't know why they have a cap. What do you think's going to get wedged into your USB cable that you need a cap for it? It's kind of stupid, but they all come with that now too. So here's the cable, but it is short. I mean, that's what? Not even 6 feet? What is that? Maybe 6 feet, but it's also a very skinny, flimsy feeling cable. So what I did, I bought an extension cable. A USB-C extension cable I also got off Amazon. Okay, so we're just going to use that to extend the length so I can actually have it reach over here. Otherwise, it wouldn't. Let's undo this. Yep, just another wire for Jasper to chew on. You're absolutely right, because you know he's going to. Probably what I'll do, I won't leave the mic here all the time. I'll only have it over here when I'm going to do co-op and talk on it, and then I'll probably put it over there so that way I don't have this whole thing cluttered all the time. Okay. A lot of twisties on it to undo. Ugh, stuck. Okay. There we go. So many twisties. Also, it says USB 2.0 requires a specific orientation. Oh, well, I mean, this is USB 3.0. I guess what they're saying is if you're using older devices, this USB 3.0 cord has to be daisy chained a certain way or something. I don't know. Okay. So there we are. Untangle my USB-C cable. Rip off this stupid notification that no one cares about USB 2.0. And so, what I will do, I will take the end of the cable that came with the mic and I will plug it into this connector to extend the length of the cable. Okay? Then, I will plug this end of the cable into the back of the microphone itself. Whoa. Okay, it's right on the back is the USB port right there. Like so. Okay? So, technically that should be it. Let's turn on my PlayStation. All right, my PlayStation is on. I guess what we should do is we should now switch over to that screen for live testing. Okay, that is, we're not in Mobius. We're not testing this in Mobius. Hold on. Or in Virtua Fighter. Here we are. Let me go ahead and change my webcam. Now I'm tiny. Okay. Think that's good? So, here we are on my PlayStation dashboard. So what's going to happen when I plug this sucker in? Do you think it's going to work? It's supposed to. It's supposed to be plug and play. Works with PS5. If it doesn't work, I'm just going to return it, which is fine. But I hope that it works plug and play. It says right on it that it works with PS5. So we're going to go plug it in. And we're going to see what happens, how it reacts. So, whoa. Well, wait till you see this thing. This thing's going to be distracting. Are you ready to look at this thing? Look at this. It changes colors in a gradient pattern. Look at that. So now it's going from blue to purple. Now it's going to green, green and blue. Now it's red and green. I don't think there's any way to stop that either. I think it just does it nonstop. I think they said, so apparently there's two features of this microphone, okay? Feature number one is if you just tap it on the top, it mutes it. So now the microphone is muted. But now if I tap it again, now supposedly it's on again. So that's how you turn it on and off, okay? The other feature is that at the bottom there's a built-in gain knob, so I can turn it left or right to adjust the volume gain on the microphone automatically, okay, on the fly. So that's the microphone. That's what it looks like, okay? It's weird. I don't know why they put the LED light in there or what purpose it serves, but there you go. Hey, for Pride Month, which starts today, I guess I have the Pride mic here, right? Don't ask me why that's needed, but okay. There you go. Trying to get this cord out of the way. It's huge. All right. So, now, how do I test this thing? I believe that there's microphone settings, correct? So if I go to, let's see, accessories, Bluetooth, turn off advanced, controller, media, other accessories. Keyboard, mouse, camera, no. General? Advanced settings? No. How do I see this microphone and test it? Voice command? No, I don't want to voice command it. How does this work? Sound? Microphone. Aha! Yes, it detected it. It says USB microphone, Fi-Fine microphone. So it did detect it automatically, okay? So microphone status when logged in on. This setting might not work for some devices that have mute functions. Right, because I can auto mute it by doing this. Oh, now it's, oh, okay. You have to tap it right in the middle. Yeah, you could tap it. Okay. So, I don't even know what that means. Microphone status. When starting voice chat or broadcast, switch to mute. I don't know what that means. Adjust the microphone level.
Whoa, oh, it's working. Well, the microphone is definitely working. Now, what about this built-in gain?
So I turned it all the way down, and as you can see, it's not registering my voice at all. If I turn it a little bit up,
all right, so now, whoa. So look at that. So I only turned it a tiny bit, and it's already registering my voice like really strongly, right? Like really strong. See that? Oh, there's echo? Okay, hold on, because I can't hear it. Test. Testing. Test. Hello. I am in a tunnel. It is very echoey. Hi. Hello. Yo. Snoochie Boochies.
The reason that you're hearing echo is because my microphone for the PC is delayed by 200 milliseconds. My webcam isn't fast enough to be live in the video feed, so I have to delay this very slightly. If there was no delay on my microphone, it should be simultaneous. Like, you'd actually hear it both, you see? So, oh, do you want, okay, here's what we'll do. Ready? Here's what we're going to do.
Okay, so I have muted my microphone for the PC. So all you're hearing now is my voice through the PS5. I wonder how it sounds. I don't know if it's echoey or not. You guys tell me, how does this sound? What is the quality here? And as you can see, I'm not synced with the webcam. It doesn't sound great. Sounds tinny. Sounds robotic. No echo, but it's low. Okay. Testing. 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 There you go. So this is the quality of a $40 mic. And I don't think there's any adjustments to make it sound better. Like, nothing's going to make it sound studio quality. And can you imagine if you were just like using this to capture for like commentary on videos and stuff? I sound like a Fallout 1 voiced character. Dabhand says, awful compared to your mic. Sounds like you're in a warehouse. Generation Z says, sounds like you're one of the voices you hear at airports when traveling. Nice. No, I didn't go with the Blue Yeti. I saw a Blue Yeti. It was on sale for like $80. This was 30 something. And again, I'm only going to be using this mic for voice chat with like Brian when we do co-op. I'm not doing it to capture my voice for videos except for right now. So I don't see the point of getting a much better mic. So here's what it looks like. It's glowing. You can still hear me. Even though I'm bringing it away from my face, it still picks up audio. How about in the, hold on, try this. Testing, it still picks up backward. You can hear me backwards too. Testing, testing. It picks up better from the front, but it still picks it up from the back. Yeah. Attention all American Airlines passengers. Flight 302 bound for Toledo, Ohio is boarding at gate 8 at this time. All priority flight passengers who paid lots of extra money to board 5 seconds early, please get your dumb asses onto the plane right now. It does sound like it. You're right. Why? It's so metallic and echoey. So now let's test the feature. If I tap the mic, it should mute. So if I need to clear my throat, if I need to sneeze, if I want to say something just to you guys and not to the person I'm doing co-op with, I tap the mic. And then I untap it, and then we're good again. See that? Why do I always reference Toledo? Because Toledo is a great place to be. Have you ever been there? It's amazing. So many good things there in Toledo. You can't hate on that. Come on. All right. So I have a microphone that works with PS5. What I'll do is, hopefully, this works with Discord, because the way that Brian and I are going to talk to each other is with the Discord integration in PS5. He's on PC, I'm on PS5. We're going to be playing cross-platform. So the only way we can voice communicate is to use a third-party software like Discord. I already synced my Discord to my PS5. I've just literally never used it to voice chat once. So I don't know what it sounds like. We're going to have to kind of mess with that and figure it out. Well, this is the best that we can do for 40 bucks, right? If I spent like 80 to 100 bucks, I could get like a blue Yeti, but honestly, for the as infrequently as I'm going to be using it, I don't know if it's worth it. Keep in mind, there's another problem we're not even thinking about. Do you want to know what it is? We're going to test it right now. Ready? Here's going to be the problem. Because I'm not just going to be sitting here talking to Brian. I'm going to be playing Street Fighter on this joystick talking to Brian. So what's that going to sound like? This. son of a bitch, you mashing piece of shit. How dare you mash out that drive impact, you scrub. There you go. That's what it'll sound like. Oh, good move. Oh, he parried me, you son of a bitch. You tricky dick. Take this. Oh, I suck. I missed it. There you go. That's what it's going to sound like. So it's not that bad? If I go crazy like this, then you can hear it a lot. But it's not that bad. Darziak says, to be fair, it makes it feel sort of like you're sitting right next to him. I think this isn't bad. The problem is, it's so metallic. I mean, this is what you get for a $30 mic. A Chinese $30 mic. It sounds like awful quality like you used to get in the 90s trying to record voice on your PC. That's exactly what it sounds like. Yeah. No, when I use it, you'll hear me from both mics. You should not. No, this is just the voice test. This is going to be going through to Brian, but it should not echo back. No, it shouldn't. In theory, there's no way to know until I test Discord. But I can't test it right now. I'd have to find someone to connect with and test it, which would be Brian, I guess. I guess I'll have to tell him, we'll arrange a night. And he logs in, I log in via here, and I guess I don't know how it works on PS5, honestly. I don't know if you have to set up like maybe he sends an invite and it pops up and you accept it and then it's just open. I have no idea. I'm not a Discord guy. I don't know anything about it. It's my first time using it for voice ever. So your guess is as good as mine how it works on PS5. But I'm now going to tell Brian I have a mic and we can mess around with it a little bit, right? Dentronic says we went from increased audio quality yesterday to now drive-through speakers. Excuse me, sir. Please repeat your order. I can't understand what you're saying. It sounds like you have a mouthful of marbles. Did you say you wanted a quarter pounder with cheese, or you wanted me to come out there and punch you in the nutsack? Either one is fine. Just clarify. Oh, the nutsack. All right, I'm on my way out. I'm bringing a big wooden paddle. Here we go. Okay. It sounds like I'm doing an election speech on a podium. Very nice. Ladies and gentlemen, it is official due to the recent political news. We cannot have a convicted felon as a president. So I am announcing my candidacy for the presidency of the United States of America. Vote for Phil this coming November. Alrighty then. So there you go. DS Politics starts here. How exciting. Very exciting. Alright. I think we've had enough fun with this thing.
So, technically, you should never hear it unless I have, like, the Discord voice chat open or whatever. Then the person on the other end should hear it. But you should not hear me echoing. You shouldn't echo. If it echoes, forget it. But why would it echo? Why would any microphone echo if you're just voice communicating with someone over the internet on a console? It shouldn't. So, technically, we're good, right? Technically, it's working. Technically, it looks stupid with the radiant colors. I don't know why it's doing that, but they just decided to put a freaking, LED color thing in there for some odd reason. I don't know what the purpose is, but it works. It just sounds metallic, but what else can you do? Unless I'm going to spend a lot of money on like an $80 to $100 mic, which I don't want to do. It's just going to sound like that, So, I guess we'll see. By the way, this probably sounds better. The last time that I did voice communication with Brian, no lie, was the PSI. Does everyone remember the PlayStation Eye? So that was the webcam for PS4, and basically it had a microphone built in, and it was the only way that I could get it to work like normally back then was the PSI. So he already told me back then when we did go up, it sounded terrible too. Like it didn't sound good. I almost bet this will sound probably similar. It's probably not gonna be any better or worse. Exactly. OID says that LED light is to distract you. Oh, hold on. What am I doing this for? Let's go back to the show now. Hold on. Here we go. We get the camera full screen. I'll show you what it looks like now, full screen glowing, because now I have it working. There we are. So here's what it looks like, full screen, glowing, okay? So it's got that pop guard, a little smile on the pop guard in the front, and then it just goes through these different gradient color schemes. And OID says the reason that it has that is to distract you from the crappy quality. It's basically just supposed to be a mic for kids. I mean, you're right. This is for a kid who wants to, like, play Fortnite. In fact, aren't those the Fortnite colors if it's going gradient between? I guess so. That's probably what this is supposed to be for. Some kid who wants to play Fortnite or whatever and needs a mic to communicate with their friends, you know, so you sound like a metallic robot or a synth or an AI. You sound like an AI as you play games, right? What's funny about it is the gain control works nicely. The tap to mute actually works nicely. So it has all these nice features, but the quality of the mic is terrible, right? The one key thing they should have actually had, a good quality mic, isn't present. All the other things are nice to have, but you don't really need them. What you really want is a good mic, and that's what's not present in this mic. The one thing that's the most important thing they forgot. They put all these other bells and whistles and not the good base mic product. You can't make it up. What can I say, right? So I guess we're going to see. I'll tell Brian that I got it working. It just doesn't sound great. And we'll see when he can jump on and do something with us. All right. And we'll see, we'll test it. We'll have to test it. The only way to test it is to have him on because, like I said, I have to basically jump on a Discord with him, a Discord call, and test it and see how it sounds. It's going to sound terrible, I'm sure. I'm also curious how he'll sound. Keep in mind, he has a mic that's going to be playing through the speakers on our end. So you'll hear me through this microphone here, okay? And then we'll hear Brian through our audio out from the PS5, right? So there you go. All right, I'm going to be honest, this thing is distracting. Like, I don't want this thing glowing, so I'm muting it purposefully because I don't want to see it glow. It's, like, annoying and distracting. So I'm just going to mute it and leave it. I'll probably leave it over there until I need it, and then I'll bring it back over here. Okay, hold on. Okay. Well, I told you guys improvements, right? So, I mean, it's not a great improvement, but at least it's an improvement where if I need to do voice communication for some reason over PS5, I can, right? Now, the funny part about that is it didn't say it worked on Xbox, which is weird because if it's just a plug-and-play mic, why wouldn't it work on Xbox? It should, but it didn't say it did. It said it worked PC and PS5. I wonder if it would work on Xbox. I don't know. All right, so guys, we have now used so much time. We need to do shout-outs. By the way, Genesis Gaming says, why not use this Discord on your PC? Can't. This microphone needs to be used for OBS. That's why. I can't have a microphone going to OBS and Discord. It fucks up. And on top of that, you would have echo like this. This is 200 milliseconds delayed in OBS, but it can't be delayed in Discord. That would cause a problem. I don't want to have multiple mics plugged into my old PC and now have conflicts and shit. That's why. So we need to have it via different things, you see? Okay. Also, I wouldn't be able to hear Brian. My audio that I hear is from the console, not from my PC. So I would never hear Brian's voice once. Okay. So, thank you guys. I think it's time for shout-outs because we spent so much time on this. But that was fun, right? That was something different to do. Now I have the capability of speaking on PS5. That's cool. Okay, so let's start on the YouTube side of things. We had Jordan this morning gifted a membership to Black Pill. Congratulations, Black Pill. Thank you, Jordan, for supporting the channel. No Tango Dinero did the first super chat of the day and says, Happy Saturday, friends. Thank you, No Tango Dinero. Happy Saturday to you. I appreciate that. So the first tip of the day is weird because it looks like it went through one of those weird e-check payment systems. And sadly, e-checks just don't clear right away. Let me take a quick look at this. Yeah, it says it takes 4 to 7 days to clear. And this person got banned from the chat for saying something disgusting in the chat, sexual. And now they've tipped me $5 via an e-check that's not guaranteed to clear, asking to be unbanned. No. I'm not unbanning you. You said something sexual and disgusting in the chat. You got banned appropriately for it. Now you're trying to get unbanned with a tip, but you sent me an e-check that you can cancel within 7 days. No. Thanks for nothing. Okay, our first real tip today is a $10 tip from Rocky. He says, I'm glad everything went well with your new setup. Let's have a chill stream today. Thank you very much, Rocky. Oh, hold on. Excuse me. No, I'm not unbanning you. That actually looks better now. Is it just me or does this look much better close up? It used to look shitty, but I think because I upped the bitrate, it looks better now. No. Okay. What about this one? Hold on. Well, you know, let me think about it. Maybe I'll unban you. No. I'm not unbanning you. You're not getting unbanned live. Sorry about that. Okay. All right, Rocky, thank you for the $10 tip. Let's get you on the leaderboard. Cool. All right. I received a $4.20 tip. I'll have 2 number 9s, a number 9 large, a number 6 with extra dip, a number 7, 2 number 45s, 1 with cheese, and a large soda. Thank you very much to Big Smoke for a $4.20 tip. He didn't say his name was Big Smoke, but obviously that was Big Smoke. Who else could that possibly be, right? Thank you very much for the tip. I appreciate that. Memorizing Big Smoke's order. That's pretty epic. All right. I've also received a £5 super chat from iRagent Noobs who says, I can't wait for Spyro 4. Apparently it is now in development. What are your thoughts? Cool. I told you all those games from back in the day, the Spyro games, the Crash Bandicoot games, those are games that are epic and have a place in history. And I see no reason why we couldn't have new ones. I mean, I thought, Crash 4 was pretty good. I wasn't in love with it, but I thought it was a pretty good new entry to the series. I'm sad that nothing came of it, right? Like, just like they came out with that and then it was gone. They never made another Crash game. So now maybe they will, right? Spyro 4. Is that what Toys for Bob is working on? Because Toys for Bob is making a new game, supposedly, right? And, I don't know who owns the rights to Spyro. Actually, if it's Sony, then the answer is no. I don't know who owns the rights. Happy June 1st to you as well, Jade. How you doing today, man? People person says, you don't try fast food that much anymore, but have you heard about a new Wendy's 50-piece nugget bucket? It's real. Wendy's nuggets are good, but 50? USA, USA. No, I didn't hear about that, but I mean, it's not surprising, right? Their nuggets are pretty decent. They're not amazing, but they're pretty decent. They got a good variety of dipping sauces over there, but I would never eat 50. What happened to Sly Cooper? It's another one. They came out with Sly 4. Remember, that was the E3 I went to. They had Sly 4 and 2012. And then it came out later that year, and it did good. Again, it didn't amaze, and I'm sure it didn't break like sales records, but it did decent for what it was. And then they just never made another one. Oh well, say goodbye. They took the broom and they swept it right under the rug and never saw Sly again. iRage News says going to be Xbox exclusive only. Well, there you go. Is that the Toys for Bob game? Because remember, Toys for Bob was the company, all right, under the Activision Blizzard umbrella that was making all of these reboots. They were doing the Crash collection and then the Crash 4, and then they were doing the Spyro collection, and there was another one too, right? They were doing all these collections, and the collections did well. And then all of a sudden they were told by Activision Blizzard, don't make those collections anymore, just work on content for Call of Duty. So for like 3-4 years, those game developers who were making fun, creative stuff had to go make shit for Call of Duty, and then they were all laid off. So now what happened is they formed their independent company, Toys for Bob, and they're now independent, and they're going to work for Microsoft as a separate company. And it sounds like their first game might be Spyro 4. Is that what everyone's saying here? Is that the rumor now? What? Okie dokie says, I would eat like 20 of the nuggets right now, then throw the rest in the freezer. If that's the case, just order 20 nuggets. They're just, would you think those are fresh nuggets? They're frozen. So you're saying, have them take frozen nuggets, 50 of them, warm up 50 of them, you'll eat 20 and you'll refreeze 30? Then just order 20. Right? Just order the 20 nuggets. Why are you ordering 50 to begin with? You're refreezing a frozen product. Why warm it up? No Tango Dinero did another super chat. He says, Wendy's nuggets are great. Yeah, I think they're pretty good, honestly. You know what? I'm going to fess up to something, okay? Because I will fess up when I feel like I need to update an opinion of mine. I recently had McDonald's chicken nuggets, and they weren't bad. They weren't good, but they weren't bad. Because McDonald's chicken nuggets used to be juicy dark meat chicken, and now they're just that white meat shit that doesn't have much flavor. But it wasn't as bad as I remembered. Like, I remember I was getting them for a bit, and they were always, like, half-empty, hollow breading and stuff. This time, it pretty much was pure meat with the breading. The breading was a little weird. Like, for example, one of them had a little bit of missing breading, and I was like, how did that happen? Because if it's a well-made chicken nugget, you shouldn't have missing breading. But it wasn't that bad, and I had them in like, a sweet and sour dipping sauce, and I was like, this is not bad. It's not as bad as I remember. So it's not as good as it used to be when it was dark meat chicken, but it's definitely not the worst I've had. It was okay. So I will say that. McDonald's nuggets are passable now. They're not atrociously bad like I remembered them at one point. And I want to make that correction because everyone gives me shit when I say stuff like that. Maybe they were just bad at one point and they've improved them again. I don't know. So thank you, No Tengo Dinero, for the super chat. What's recently? Because they changed them early this year. What did they do? The nuggets? Did they? Generation Z says, when I play Multiversus on my Xbox Series S, it seems to run fine. My main character is now the Banana Guard. I have Banana Guard because last night I downloaded Multiversus and I loaded it here on my PS5 and I logged in to make sure it would work. I converted my stupid WB Games account to go from Xbox. Like, I linked it with my PlayStation or whatever. And so when I did that, I logged in and it gave me Banana Guard. And I was like, okay, so I have a new character. I haven't used him yet. I have to see what he can do. How recently did I have them? Oh, I would say I had them within the last 2 months. I can't remember exactly when. I had McDonald's chicken nuggets within the last 2 months, so maybe that's why they tasted better. UK food sucks. Count myself lucky. What do you mean? Listen, you guys have so many good things over there. All right? You've got your beans on toast, bangers and mash, right? Dude, you got that big-ass spotted dick that you like to suck down? Let me tell you, every day I wake up and I just wish I could have that full-on 17-course meat English breakfast. The big greasy sausages, the links, the ground meats that you could just shove in your... And there's just grease flying everywhere as you eat it. Oh, man. I just wish it's the first thing I could do in the morning, right? Fish and chips. Fish and chips, I would say, is good. I like fish and chips. I do like that, so I'm not going to hate on that one. What else do you guys eat? Tea and crumpets? Yeah, your English tea, your tea foods. Remember your little cucumber sandwiches? Ooh, watercress. Oh, it's so good. Watercress, my favorite. Oh my goodness. No, in truth, like I don't even eat greasy breakfast anymore at all. Like I wouldn't. Like when I was younger, I loved it. You kidding me? Give me bacon, give me sausage, give me all. Now it's like I want a nice lean breakfast. Give me some eggs, either over easy or scrambled. Give me a side of like either toast or something like that. Give me, sometimes you have breakfast potatoes. I prefer the ones that they dice and they like roast with like some peppers or something like that. Like I don't want greasy hash browns or anything like that anymore. Like Americans tend to like. I don't want big greasy bacon anymore in the morning. I don't want a big greasy sausage link. Like I'm like, oh, it's the last thing I want. You already have the eggs. What do you need that for? You already have your protein. Do not eat cucumber sandwiches or crumpets. You're not that British, says iRagent News. Jade says he loves my bugs and shaggy voices. Well, we'll see. As I use today. I don't know if I have any voices I could do today. I don't think I can do a Velma. I could probably do a Batman, but I don't think I can do a Velma. When was the last time I had IHOP? Oh, I don't remember. At one point, pre-COVID, my wife and I went to IHOP semi-frequently. Like, no lie, probably once every 2 months, once every month. We liked going there in the mornings on our days off. And then when COVID happened, everything got thrown for a loop. The thing is about IHOP, you don't want to order them for delivery. They are way overpriced to get delivered for what they are. Like, no lie, you want to get like a sandwich with a side of fries. It's like $21. Like, what the for what? They don't have gourmet food at IHOP. It's more like diner food, if you can even argue it's that good. So what are you paying that much for? If you order pancakes from IHOP delivery, they don't even put everything together. Like, you go there at the restaurant, they bring a big stack of pancakes, sauce, toppings, all that there for you. You order it delivery, it's like, so we put your pancakes in this separate container. They're dry pancakes. Oh, did you have fruit? We'll put this in this little plastic thing. It's very little amount, right? Whipped cream, forget, because they try to package it. By the time it gets to you, it's completely melted. There's no point in ordering that. Like, there's no reason to ever order IHOP delivery. You're never going to get the quality you'll get by getting it fresh. And they overcharge like crazy. Shepherd's pie. Admittedly, I've never had a shepherd's pie, underwater Donkey Kong. So I don't know what it tastes like. My wife has told me she's had shepherd's pie and she loves it. But I've never had a shepherd's pie, so I can't attest if I would like it or not. Maybe it is really good. Let's see here. iRagent News says, I would love to go to the USA. Been watching you for 10 years. You played Spider-Man for the PS1. Oh, God, remember that playthrough? Spider-Man for the PS1, the Rage Fest? Oh, I remember that. Well, glad to have you here. Thanks for watching. Game Boy, how are you today? How's it going? Welcome to the stream. How you doing? We still got about 10 minutes left to shoot the shit, everybody. Thank you for the early contributions, everyone who has. Please support the streams today, as usual, as you guys know. This is the bread and butter of my content, is support during streams. My goal is to hit 50 bucks in tips by the end of today's stream. We already have a decent head start here for the show. And any contributions, super chats, super stickers, memberships, gifted memberships, or tips are all greatly appreciated. Thank you guys for that. Lucky Gremlin says, yeah, any food delivered always sucks. It's too expensive. There's a few places that have perfected it. And what I mean by that is there's a few, not like chain restaurants, but like local restaurants who actually try. Like there's this place that we order from, and every time that they deliver, okay, they put your food in foil lining the container that they then put the food in. So when it shows up, it's not overly saturated in condensation from the warmth. It stays crispy if there's a crispness to it. Your toast won't get soggy. Like, they put effort into their packaging. But that's because they're not a chain that's rushing to just get it out the door and not give two fucks, right? But you're right. Like, any food you order for delivery, they always mark it up a ton. So, for example, let's say you would get a breakfast combo at, like, a local restaurant for, like, $12.99. The delivery will charge $15.99. Plus, there's extra fees for getting it delivered. Then you've got to tip the driver. So, it's like, between me and my wife, you're talking for breakfast, minimum of a $30 to $35 plus the fees plus the tips. So you're paying like 50 bucks. It's crazy. I strongly recommend, if you're going to get food delivered, to get one of these plans that they offer. It's usually like $5 or $6 a month, something like that. But then you get a big chunk off of the delivery fees. We order usually about once a week. Unless we're going out, then we eat when we're out. But if we order in, you're avoiding $5 to $10 in fees every order. So you're already, the first order, you're kind of paying for itself. It makes sense to do those if you order as much as we do. Any interest in a playthrough of a new Subnautica? I didn't know there was a new Subnautica being delivered. I'm interested in that one. It comes out later this month, right before the Elden Ring DLC. It's, what's it called? Something Stands the Deep, I think. Here, let me find it. Still Wakes the Deep comes out June 18th. That's the horror game where you go on an oil rig, and apparently it's overrun by, like, killer monsters. That looks pretty interesting to me. But outside of that, I didn't know they were making another Subnautica. No. By the way, Summer Game Fest, next Friday, 2 p.m. Xbox Direct, 10 a.m. Wait. Why did I write 10 a.m. June 9th, 1 p.m. PST? I have 2 times. What time is the Xbox Direct on Sunday, June 9th? Let me find that, because I can correct that. Because we have to start planning how I'm going to cover these. It is at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, which means 1 a.m. or 1 p.m. my time. Okay, good. That's actually good, because that means we can do the podcast, and then when the podcast ends, we could just set up, and I could do the live react at 1, and then I could do my recap reactions after the fact. The one that's going to screw us up is Summer Games Fest, because it's probably going to be like 2 hours long. So I'm going to do the live react, but then I need to do my recap reactions, which takes a while. So that's going to screw up my dinner. So I'll have to figure that out for next week. Next week, what we're going to basically do on Friday of next week, we're going to do a shorter podcast, like 2 hours of gameplay of something. I just don't know what yet. And then I'm going to do the live react to Summer Games Fest on DSP Reacts. And then I'm going to do recap reactions right after that. Oh, there was a Spider-Man 2 for PS1 as well called Enter Electro. Oh, God. Oh, God. Sadly, like, you just can't play the games anymore, right? Like, I wish you could, but they're just not... You can't really play PS1 games. They had them all digitally on PS3, but now those games don't run on PS4 or 5 digitally, and you have no access to them otherwise. They didn't make anything backwards compatible, so you have, like, no posterity for those older games. It's fucking stupid as shit. You know, what a great library PS1 had, and no one could play it. Emulation? Well, there you go. If you can find a way to emulate it on PC, I guess that's the way to go. There's no other way to play this stuff. So, No Tango Dinero did another super chat, says, yes, they are working on a new Subnautica, but it is still years away. Okay. You know, for Subnautica, here's the thing. Initially, when I started playing Subnautica, I liked it because it was like a whole new world. An undersea world, no land, right? You're trying to survive on this floating base that you built. And at first, it's all about resource gathering and building and surviving and kind of getting an established existence, correct? You know, being self-sufficient. Once you have that, then it's about going out and exploring further. And so you could go out into the deeper areas when you have more air capacity, right? All of a sudden, you have to start avoiding the enemies, right, that attack and eat you, the big monster that comes for you. You get to the deeper areas that are really neat, and you see the big undersea skeletons and kind of horror element to it and the big glowing stuff. That's neat, right? Then you get to the crashed ship. You investigate the ship. That's a whole segment of the game where you're investigating the ship, and there's monsters and stuff in there. You got to survive, etc. That's all neat. But the moment that I got the prawn suit is when I realized I'd seen everything the game had to offer. Right? Like, I'd seen the relics of some alien civilization on an island. I'd explored the crash shit. I'd been down to the deepest depths of the game. And I was like, so all that's going to happen is, with this prawn suit, I'm going to go down further. I'm going to gather minerals. Then I'm going to build. And then I'm going to go down further, and I'm going to gather more minerals. And I'm going to build. And basically, you're going to do this for like another 20 hours until finally you have the resources where you can do that beacon thing. And then probably you can get off the island, or the planet. That's the end of the game. And I was like, that's just boring. Like, the whole element of mystery and exploration kind of gets lost the moment you get the prawn suit, because you're just going down to the depth you're already at, but now you're not limited. We already saw it all. So to me, it was like, nah, there's like nothing really going on. And that's why I stopped playing it. I mean, I really enjoyed it for like the first, what was it, 15, 20 hours I played it. But when I hit that point, I was like, I'm just bored of the grind now, you know? All PS3s are backwards compatible with all PS1 games. That's correct. If you have them physically, right? You can pop it in. Yeah, my PS3 does not work online at all, which is sad. It doesn't work at all. It doesn't connect anymore. They bricked it. They did this update to PSN or something, and then it bricked the console. It never connects and it won't update anymore, so I can never use it. It just sits there unused, worthless. So my PS3 is junk. Sucks. I'm not buying another one at this point. I read your news says that's the thing. There's so many classic PS1 games you can't stream or capture anymore unless you emulate or get a capture card. Again, I don't think it works. I don't think if you just get a PS1 game, you pop it into any PS3, it doesn't work. There were only certain model PS3s that had the backwards compatibility, and then they removed it. And it was only the first wave, if you remember correctly. The first wave PS3s had backwards compatibility, and then they took it away. They wanted to cut costs. What's up, Kermit? Jay says, I hope they add Scooby-Doo and Multiverses. Yeah, my wife and I were talking about that the other day. She was like, so who's in Multiverses from Scooby-Doo? And I was like, Velma and Shaggy. And she goes, not Scooby? I was like, no. Like, no Scooby-Doo? I mean, that would have been the first character they put in. No, they didn't put him in yet. People Person says the original PS3 60 gigs has a PS2 hardware in it. That's still valuable. The next one's also had backwards compatibility, but emulation-based. Oh, it was the PS2 backwards compatibility they removed? Okay. I didn't know that. Okay, that's interesting. The other problem with PS3 is HDCP. They have high definition copy protection in it, and there's no way to disable it. You have to use really stupid workarounds to capture from it. I personally had a stripper. What it would do was strip the video and audio out of the PS3 into separate channels, then recombine it. And when you do that, it removes the HDCP. And I used that for many years back in the day to capture from my PS3. But not everyone had that setup. It was expensive. It was like one device was like over $100. The other one was like $200. They had to buy a shitload of cables, and they each needed their own power adapter. So you're talking like a $400+ rig to strip all that shit and then be able to capture and stream from it. It was a major pain in the ass. Top 3 PS1 games? Oh, that's a tough question. I would have to think about it, you know, because there's so many epic PS1 games. Definitely up there has to be Resident Evil 1. The game that literally started the survival horror genre and craze. I gotta say RE1 would be up there. But outside of that, I would have to really look at the library and the games that I played. You know, for me, RPGs, right? So what were my favorite PS1 RPG? Probably like Suikoden 1, probably like Final Fantasy 7, but what's the best one? I don't know. I have to think about it, right? There were great platformers at the time. Remember Twisted Metal franchise? That was a great one. There were a lot of fighting games. Are you kidding me? Like freaking Tekken and shit, where it's great. Tekken 1 and 2. Tekken 2 is a great game on PS1. Tekken 3. Yeah, so I'd have to really, that's a hard question. I'd have to look at the library and start to weigh and balance games. Definitely Resident Evil 1 is up there, though, because it just started a whole genre. Before Resident Evil 1, I didn't even know horror games existed, right? Oh, Castlevania Symphony of the Night. I will vote on that. But the thing is, I never played it back in the day, but I respect it for being how good as it was. I've seen it. I've played the first half of it much later on. Um, so there you go. All right, guys. Last chance if you want to talk. Tag me in chat. We'll have a little bit more chit chat, and then we're gonna get ready for Multiversus. See how it goes on PS5. I hope it runs much better on PS5 because on Xbox it was fine. Then all of a sudden freeze, unfreeze, freeze, unfreeze. What the fuck? Am I supposed to play a game that keeps freezing and unfreezing? You know, drive me nuts. That's true. The Tony Hawk's Pro Skater games were on PS1 as well. Metal Gear Solid franchise started on PS1. I mean, we could be here all day talking about great PS1 games, right? It was a great era. Well, I get the PS5 Pro. Well, it's a good question, Jade Vinzil. Now that I have the capability to actually see the higher fidelity video and refresh rates, will I get a PS5 Pro? I don't know. I don't know if I don't think it's going to benefit the streams at this point, but it could benefit me to see better visual fidelity. I guess I'd have to think about it, but man, you know what's going to happen. That thing is going to be such in demand, you're not going to be able to get it. It's going to be pre-ordered and then oversold and fucking sold on eBay and shit. It's not going to be something you could just get. You know what I mean? If it were something you could just get, then I would definitely consider it. But I don't think I'm going to be able to get it, you know? I don't think so. People person says I saw an article, Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta may not make 2024. It doesn't, it's not a big deal. Let them cook, let them develop, let them make the game better and be good at launch and not a big disappointment, right? So what I mean, like, you remember how bad it was with PS5. PS5 Pro likely is going to be even harder to get. So I don't, it might take people years to get a PS5 Pro. And again, what benefit are you getting? If current games can run at 4K 60 frames or 1080p 120 hertz, as it appears they're running on my PS4 right now, or PS5 right now, I'm not aware why I need a PS5 Pro. Right? I'm not going to be running at 8K or anything like that. I read you noobs, I don't know what to tell you. You saw live how Multiversus was running on my Xbox, and even the Multiversus people posted publicly apologizing for the performance on Xbox, claiming they're going to fix it. And saying, people were basically saying it's much better on PS5 and PC. So, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. You unlock Joker? Oh, yeah? I don't know if I'm going to get to unlock Joker, because I'm at 2,300 of the currency, and I'm gaining like 10 points an hour now. So I don't even know how you're supposed to get the currency to buy Joker unless you're really playing nonstop grinding, or you buy it. So it looks to me, for the frequency I'll be playing Multiversus, I'm probably not getting many characters. Just being honest. I'm not even committing to playing it long term yet, so I'm definitely not dropping any money on it or anything yet. So, by the way, I'm thinking for Multiverses, I should just keep my PlayStation 5 at the 1080p 120 hertz settings that I had it on for Street Fighter. I don't see a reason to not have it at that, because I don't think I'm going to benefit from 4K resolution in this game, especially because it's supposed to be a competitive game. I'd rather have better, like, more responsive inputs. So I'm just going to leave it at that, and I guess we'll see how it performs. Batgirl says the rifts. Yeah, that's the offline content, right? And hence that's the problem. It seems like they're hiding a lot of the stuff in the game behind the offline content, but people don't want to see that on stream, right? You guys don't want to see me playing single player content of this game on stream. It's a fighting game. You want to see me go online, and that's kind of a bummer. People person says I have an LG OLED 4K HDR 120 hertz. So do I. That's what my Sony is. More tech power is worth it. For example, Last of Us PS5 has a native 4K mode that looks photorealistic, but bad performance. The Pro would be worth it. I see what you're saying. Excuse me. Game Boy says, what's your favorite soup? I'm eating wild rice cream of chicken. I don't have a favorite. I like a few different ones. I like tomato or tomato basil. I like minestrone with the beans and the pasta. I like a good chicken noodle soup, but I like a more hearty chicken noodle rather than, like, I don't like the salty Campbell's. I like one that's like less salty but more tasty ingredients, like chunks of carrot and stuff like that. Let's see. I like a miso soup, like from an Asian restaurant. Miso soup is good. I like a wonton soup that has a little dumpling in it. That's delicious. Hot and sour soup can be pretty good if you're looking for something spicy. That's pretty good. And that's about it, I would say. I don't really eat that much variety of soup. I'm well aware there's tons and tons of different soups out there, but those are the ones that I probably eat more commonly. Would I ever go back to Smash Brothers? No, not the current ones. If there's a new one, yes, but I would not play older Smash Brothers. I don't see the point. Would I do a backflip to get a PS5 Pro? I don't know if I'd be able to. I'd probably kill myself. So is it worth it to murder myself to get a console? I'd be dead. I wouldn't be able to use it. I might self-pile drive myself. It would not be good. Yes, Multiversus does run much slower than it did in the beta. For sure. 100% I agree with that statement. It is much slower of a game now. Oh, Leonardo says, don't worry. You can just pass the PS5 Pro down to Kat instead. Oh, I'm sure she'll be happy to have a PS5 Pro when her husband is dead. It's with the foremost thing on her mind, right? Oh, Lord. What's my favorite Nintendo console? Super Nintendo, hands down. Always will be, likely. Generation Z says, maybe a lot of people were rage quitting the other day. Maybe you're right. I don't know why they rage quit, because there's no ranking system yet, so there's no point to rage quitting, you know? Let's see how it runs today. I'm excited to see how it runs on PS5. You know, my PS5, for some reason, is running games better than my Xbox right now. For example, when we tested Street Fighter 6, Xbox Series X had frame drops. There was a lot of frame drops, and I played it on PS5. It is flawless, no frame drops at all. So it seems like PS5 is running things generally better. That's not in all cases, but in some cases. So hopefully this will run smoothly on PS5 for me. Okay. All right. Shall we adjourn the show? Thanks for being here for my live mic testing on PS5. I hope that was fun for you. Excuse me. Okay. So thank you guys so much for the awesome podcast. I hope you enjoy. Tomorrow, we'll be talking about how Multiversus went and our next, hopefully, tech problem-free stream of Hades 2. It would be nice if we had no tech problems tonight, okay? But thank you guys so much. And happy June. Now that it is June, it is almost summer. And you know what that means? Pretty soon, we're going to have to start planning our summer party. Last year, we had a summer cookout event. This year, we got to do something else for the summer. I'm not sure what we'll do yet. We have to start planning probably sometime in July. We'll have a big summer event. And I thank you all. Great show. See you all tomorrow morning. Peace out.